What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. It is decision time for Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We are going to take a look at the charts and see what I am thinking. Also, I want to remind you there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out, guys. Let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, I want to remind you I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, trading advice, or investment advice. There is a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and always remember this is my opinion, not yours. And let's do a little experiment. I want to ask you guys to please give me a thumbs up and leave your comments down below. And let's see how many thumbs up we can get. But anyways, let's look at the headlines and get our sentiment. Bitcoin price falls after 1 hour volume spike. Elon Musk just sent the best cryptocurrency and prank something. I'm not sure what that's about. Bitcoin on-chain analytics to add or at odds with sub 8,000 Bitcoin, which I do believe is possible. Bitcoin's computing power is growing again. Chainlink nears $5 all-time high. Almost half of all Bitcoin has not moved in 2 years. So a little bit more bullish sentiment in the news. Let's look at the fear and greed index. We're at 40. We're up 2 points from yesterday, still in the fear zone. BitMEX, Bitfinex, and Binance longs versus shorts. We have 60% longs and 40% shorts. So let's look at the monthly. So on the monthly, we are battling to hit this 9,200. If we get above that, I think it'll be pretty bullish, especially if we close a monthly above it. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but it definitely could. Let's look at the weekly. So on the weekly, as you guys know, I've been really watching. I said if we were going to get a push up to the 11.1, 11.3 area, which is the golden pocket zone from the swing low to the swing high of this move, we are looking at about 11.1 to 11.3. I will be looking to short there if we get up there. And if we do get up there, I think that's going to be this week. If we also want to let you guys know, this top line here, as you can see, I have this symmetrical triangle drawn in here. If we do break this top line, which would be around the 11.1 to 11.3, I think that's going to be super bullish, although I am expecting a huge rejection here, and I will be shorting. If you guys are interested in trading, I do have a Bybit tutorial. I'll leave that up top. Be careful. Don't do high leverage. And don't put in more than you're willing to lose. Also, I have other links down there, Prime XBT, Bybit, and Femex. All of them, you get a sign-on bonus using my link. So definitely check those out if you are interested. So anyways, what we've been talking about is getting a rejection up here and coming back down to the $7,700 to the $8,000 range. Possibly as low as 73. But let's take a look at what's going on. We'll go into the daily and take a look at what I'm seeing. So in the daily here, as you can see, I have this rising wedge drawn in here. On the daily, we did get a bounce off the bottom line back at the 8,400 range. We are now getting rejected on this white trend line, which is I had drawn as a falling channel here. Not sure if I really like the falling channel anymore, but as of right now, it is what it is. Let's look at the RSI. So in the RSI, we have this falling wedge that we had been falling channel that we were watching. We broke out here into a rising blue channel, fell out of the blue channel, came back to test the top of this channel for support, fell through, and now we have tried to get back above, got rejected, and looks like we have some more downward motion to go. Now, the measured move off of this, if we looked at this as a bear flag, gets us down to about the 79.45. I'm still looking at that as a possibility. That would also, line up with this white rising channel that we have here to come down and test this. So as of right now, that's what I'm looking at still. But I do believe there's a good chance we get a run up. If we can break this 89.50, guys, we should have a good chance at a nice run up. Let's look at, and the 89.50 is also the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement of the swing low to the swing high over here. I do have an extremely bearish case scenario. If we are to break this trend line, and let's say if we did it today, we would have to break the 84.86 and close below that. If we were to do that, we would most likely be in extreme trouble, guys. The 0.786, this would be our bounce area, 79.45. We may come back up and test this if this was to happen. The 0.786 retracement is at 73.14. If we were to break below that, guys, I see major problems, and I will show you in the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour right now, we're in this white falling channel. Good chance that we could pop above it and come up to this 92.50 range, possibly as high as 97.21. Let's zoom in here and see what's going on. First of all, let me show you that worst case scenario. If we do break this bottom pink trend line on this rising wedge, we do have a measured move, and that gets us down to the $5,400 range, which I want to point out is the 0.786 retracement of last year's whole move here. That would be the 0.786, 5,400, and that would also line up with this trend line here. That would be quite a swift drop. That is my worst case scenario as of right now. Again, guys, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. That'll also get you entered to win the free t-shirt. I do a random comment pick every Sunday for the random t-shirt. But yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want daily updates every single day, definitely subscribe to the channel. We try to keep in tune with the market by watching it on a daily basis. So now I'm going to go zoom in a little bit and see what may be happening right now. I believe we'll have a bounce around this 70 or 86.13, which is this trend line. Let me remind you guys, if you're new to the channel, I have these 3 trend lines. It's going to be kind of confusing if you haven't been here for a while, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. I drew this bottom trend line off of these 3 wicks down here. I cloned it, and I put one on this wick, and this wick. And that's been support and resistance on the way up. And now that we're coming back down, it has been support and resistance on the way down. As you can see, we are bouncing along the center trend line just like we did back here before we popped up and went through. Question is, will we pop up and go back through? We need to break the 89.60 range. And one more thing I've been looking at, and this is going to be kind of messy. I have some targets in here. We'll take a look at it in a second. But I called it back here was as a speculative, thought about 2 months ago that this could be an inverse head and shoulders with that top at 10.5. If we're to break that 10.5, there is a much higher target if this is the case, but we'll talk about that in a second. As you can see, we're in a falling channel here on the 4 hour. Good chance that we could pop up through and get a little push up today. Let me zoom in a little bit more on this, and then we'll go back to the 4 hour and look at a couple more things. Looking at the 1 hour, I've been looking at this as a possible inverse. What is that? Let me get that off there. Possible inverse head and shoulders. And I'll draw that in real quick so you can see it. The neckline of that being that 89.60 range. Left shoulder, head, possible right shoulder. And if we're to break this, the measured move is about 95.35 if this is an inverted head and shoulders. But I do have the target of 92 first. Let me go back over here and we'll look at why I have the 92.50. If you look at this falling channel that we're in over here, we take a measured move to where we popped out of it, and that gets us to that 92.51, which also lines up with the 200 EMA. And as of right now, I'm looking for a bounce around this area between the 8600 and 8630 range. And if we look at, let me zoom in so you guys can see it. We look at this as a broadening wedge, and we take a measured move. If we were to pop out here, that also gets us up to that 92.50 range. So that's my first point of interest. Before that, though, we do have the 0.382, and that is right around the 92.14. So between 92 and 92.50 is my target if we can break the 89.60 range, guys. And that would be looking at this as also as a possible inverse head and shoulders, which the target could be as high as 97.21. I'm more looking at the 9,500 area because, well, the 97.21 here is just a 0.618, but also lines up this trend line that I've drawn off of these two wicks. So we'll keep that in mind as a possibility. And let's say say we got up to that 97.21 and do a measured move of the broadening wedge there, just to see where that could lead us. And that gets us up to around the 11.7. So I don't believe that'll happen. If it does break, I see us possibly going to the 11.1 to 11.3 range that we've been talking about. If that's going to happen, that would have to happen this week, in my opinion. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. If this 86.10 or 8600 to 8650 doesn't hold, sorry about that, guys. We're looking at around the 84.83 for our next possible bounce, which is the 0.5 Fibonacci. So I apologize for the phone ring, guys. It's going to be a busy day for me. That's why I'm trying to make this quick video and get it out to you. As you guys know, I work full time and my phone rings constantly and I'm getting sick of it. But anyways, let's get on to, whoops, sorry about that. Let's get on to LITECOIN. So looking at LITECOIN, same thing, guys. We are still in this range here until we either break this trend line or this trend line. We are just ranging in here. But I do have a measured move. If we break up out of this, if we break the $63 range, we should be headed up to around the 72.58. Although we will have resistance at the 66.07. Damn it. At the 0.382 retracement. Fibonacci retracement of this move. But looking like if Bitcoin does get up to that 92.95, we could be looking at 72.50 range for LITECOIN, at least the 66.07. And as of right now, we have fallen below the 0.5 fib, which is at $60. So that is bearish. Looks like we could come back down, possibly as low as 54.65 with LITECOIN. But it does look like we do have room for another push up here, guys. So keep that definitely in mind. And if this looks like a broadening descending wedge here. And if we do come up, test top and break it, we will most likely be coming up to test this trend line here, which would probably get us up to around that 72 range. Also, we have a measured move. As you can see here, this in yellow, we have a rising broadening wedge. We took a measured move off of that. We did fall from there. That gets us around that $42 range, guys. I know that sounds scary, but it is what I'm seeing. Although we have the trend line off of these two wicks down here that could stop us possibly around the $50 range. So that's what I'd be looking at, is the $50 range. But guys, it does look like we could possibly come down here. I'm not trying to spread FUD. I'm just trying to tell you what I see. Let's look at Ethereum. So on Ethereum, same thing. We look like we are in a symmetrical triangle here, which could be a bear flag. We measure it as a bear flag from the breakdown over here. And let's say we get another test down here and it breaks. We could be looking as low as 167. If we look at it as a triangle, take the measured move of the widest point of the triangle. If we were to break down, it gets us around the 182.50 range. If we break up from here, we could be going up to, we could be going up as high as, I'm going to move this now because obviously targets change depending on where you break stuff, but right around the 260 range, guys, is what we could be looking at here. Obviously, we'll get resistance at the 0.5 at 249, but let's see what happens. Obviously, if you guys are trading, don't trade until a breakout. That is how my work goes all day, guys. And then I deal with making videos and all kinds of other stuff, trying to get it out for you guys. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at until we have a break of here. These are the targets of the break, would be around 260. If we break down, 182, possibly as low as 160. Worst case scenario for Ethereum here, guys, is 153. And that's the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement of this whole move. That also lines up with this trend line here. Thanks a lot, guys. Apologize for the phone ringing. I got to get out of here. I got a long day ahead of me. I just wanted to get this video out to you. Don't forget to smash the likes, leave your comments down below, subscribe by hitting the CryptoSavy logo above my head, tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash the likes, guys. I'm out.